When you were young and your heart was an open book, you used to say, live and let live. You know you did, you know you did, you know you did. But if this ever-changing world in which we live in makes you give in and cry, say live and let die. Live and let die.
You're saying there was an airport here? Really?
Wait a minute, baby.
This is John Fuller speaking from Fort Myers, Florida on July 28th, 2022. A website called Abandoned and Little Known Airfields caught my eye a few years ago because it merged my interests in aviation and history. As a retired pilot, at times I think back to my first sightings of airplanes at my small hometown of Lincoln, Illinois in the 1950s. Lincoln was unusual because for most of that decade it had 2 airports for a town of only about 15,000 people. Most towns that size didn't even have 1 airfield.
In the sea of love, where everyone.
In the year 2000, Logan County, Illinois historian Nancy Gilbaugh published a detailed history of aviation in the county. One item in her story was about Lincoln's first commercially viable airport at the west edge of town. It is at that grass airfield where I recall seeing my first airplanes. The place was formerly and unremarkably called the Lincoln Airport, but was also known as the Bach Airfield, since the landowner and founder of the facility was farmer Henry Bach. Henry bought his farm around 1934. Just before that, aviation maps in 1929 and 30 hinted of a landing field on the same spot, but no details of this earlier facility have been found to date. This 1940 picture suggests where traces of that strip might have been.
He was singing.
Henry's son, John Bach, tells me that one day around 1945, an airplane landed across the road from their farmhouse. The pilot, apparently a flight instructor, was looking for a field where he could give flying lessons, probably under the new GI Bill program. Plans emerged to set aside some of the land on the south side of the road for this new flight school. In the next few years, it quickly grew into a base for local private airplanes. Nancy Gilbaugh wrote of those days, quote, "The airport was a busy place. Quoting Lindy Fancher, there were so many people in the little office you couldn't turn around." The main activities were GI Bill flight training, aircraft sales and repairs, and fuel sales.
Never change, never stop. But now it's gone. It doesn't matter what for. But when you build your house, oh then call me home. Hold on, the night is coming, and it's starting to fall as they hold me
In 1946, not long after the Bach property was transformed into an airport, the citizens of Logan County passed a referendum to plan and fund a separate new airport. Groundbreaking for the new field on the east side of Lincoln began in 1948 and began operating in 1950.
At the end of the rainbow, I've been dreaming, thought it was in vain. Ah, but now you're here, can't believe that you're back again. Now I know I can't lose, as long as you follow. I'm gonna win, I'm gonna beg, steal or borrow, as long as you follow. I've been wondering, gone way too far, but the road was rough to get back to where you are. And the sun went down, never seemed to rise. Ah, but now you're here with the light shining in your eyes. Now I know I can't lose, as long as you follow. I'm gonna win.
In less than 10 years, and as aviation activity shifted to the Logan County Airport with its hard surface and lighted runway, the Bach Airport faded out of existence.
Give me tomorrow, as long as you follow.
It appears the last flight ops were around 1960, with the few buildings being leased to other businesses for uses such as auto repair and equipment storage.
An old cowpoke went riding out one dark and windy day. Upon
A tornado in the spring of 1963 destroyed much of the remaining structures.
When all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw a-plowing through the ragged skies and up a cloudy draw. A ghost herd in the sky. Their brands were still on fire and their hooves were made of steel. Their horns were black and shiny and their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky, for he saw the riders coming hard and he heard their mournful cry. Ghost riders in the sky. Their faces gaunt, their eyes were blurred, and shirts all soaked with sweat. They're riding hard to catch that herd, but they ain't caught 'em yet, 'cause they've got to ride forever on that range up in the sky, on horses snorting fire as they ride on, hear their cry. Yippee-yi-oh, yippee-yi-oh. Ghost riders in the sky. As the riders loped on by him, he heard one call his name. If you want to save your soul from hell a-riding on our range, then cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will ride, a-trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies.